let's kick off the last session of the morning and talk about AI. So my name is Marina, known as Crypto Marina. I'm a founder of Crypto Marina Marketing Agency. I'm in this space since 2017 and happy to moderate this panel today. Let's start from a brief introduction, everyone. Really.
Hi. Oh. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. So my name is Will. Hello, everybody. I'm in my born city, so I'm very happy about that. I consider myself a poet, and I use technology as a tool. I am an engineer, software engineer, telecom engineer, and then I did a Master of Science in AI, and I dedicated myself to creative work pretty much all my life. I am really excited about what AI brings, what blockchain brings, and the mixture of both. I really think sort of AI is the mind, and blockchain is kind of the heart. And right now, I actually call myself a storyteller. I educate people on blockchain, on Web3, and how technology can actually make our life easier, freer, better.
And you're also a fantastic DJ. Thanks for the session last night. What about you guys?
Cool. So my name, let's stick to Guru. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started my journey in fintech when I was 16. I founded my company, which was the first one in the world to automate the trades in stock market using SMS. After 5 years, I had a successful exit from this company, which later went public. Later, I worked for Morgan Stanley as an institutional trader. And then I made B-Cube, which is index actively trading in top 5 cryptos, which works completely non-custodial. Anyone can integrate their existing Binance account with our platform to trade.
Awesome. My name, let's stick with Stuart. So I'm Stuart Rogers. So I'm many different things, as you all are. Some people know me as a journalist for VentureBeat, Grit Daily. I'm editor-at-large at Data Economy, editor-at-large at Arctic Startup. But I am also co-founder with my amazing life partner, Ksenia, of Confusion and Joy, which is an impact creator house. I've been writing about AI, blockchain, Web3, etc. since Satoshi, who is probably female, by the way, first put keystrokes on a PDF. In fact, I used to be a video game developer. I developed my first AI video game when I was 12 years old. Yes, I know you're looking at me and thinking, we had AI back then? Yes, we did. We absolutely did. So, I'm taking this from two different points of view. One, as someone who is deep in the AI Web3 world and understands it from a journalistic standpoint, but someone who's also a creator. And we're now creating experiences and activations and, with the confluence of all of these technologies and physical locations as well.
That's a truly impressive backgrounds, guys. So let's kick off with the first question. I will address it to everyone, and feel free to answer who wants it first. How do you envision AI shaping the user experience in decentralized and the blockchain-based ecosystems, and what opportunities and challenges it brings to developers and businesses?
Go for it.
All right, let me go first. I think more than the challenges, there is a lot of opportunity in this space. Because now ChatGPT, for example, if I want to make it very simple, most of them are still using it for very naive things or asking very simple questions to that. And there is something called as prompt engineering now, which is coming up very big. You don't need to be an engineer, but you need to train the models. And to train the models, you need to have huge amount of data, because data is everything in AI. AI itself will not be able to do anything, and the input has to be given by the humans. So I think the right talents who can train the AI models, that will be the huge opportunity. Everybody have fears that AI is going to rob their jobs and AI will take over, it will do this, it will do that. But I see it differently. I think AI will simplify the human life. Developers, they need to struggle a lot. For example, if you want to audit a smart contract, even after auditing it so nicely, still there are hacks which is happening on DeFi protocols. So if AI is trained in such a way that it can see the vulnerabilities, what human eye cannot see, I think that's where the alpha is when we use AI for this. And if user experience, specific question, we make several interviews to know what is the user experience that we need to have and how the whole structure should come up like. And if we try to train the models in that way, then AI can do that better.
I mean, digging a little deeper on that, I think the biggest issue that we have is not the AI, it's not the tools. I mean, AI is just a tool. And in terms of the question, will AI take my job, it's always the wrong question. The question you should ask yourself is, do I work for a nice human or not? Who's signing the check for the AI? Because if they sign the check for the AI to replace you, that's not a good human. If they sign the check to augment your job, then they're okay. Like, that's exactly the same as what happened in the Industrial Revolution. You know, AI is just a much more superpowered version of, you know, steam-driven machines. Where we have a big issue is with diversity, equity, inclusion, with the ability to create user interfaces that work for everyone. And the reason we have a big problem is because AI, by and large, is trained on data from people who have dispensable cash to spend money on things like 23andMe and MyHeritage and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So we have a huge amount of white middle class data. We have a huge amount of fully able-bodied data. When it comes to user interfaces, human UX UI designers understand and allow for people that might have sight issues, hearing problems, may not have all their digits, or may be you know, differently abled in some way. AI needs the data in order for it to be trained to be able to give us user interfaces that work for everyone. So we'll have to do a better job at going for broader pools of data. And one of the reasons we don't do that is because of capitalism. You know, if we spend $299 finding out what our you know, heritage is, and if we've got, you know, a distant cousin, you know, sitting in the middle of Central Africa, you know, that's still white middle class data from usually fairly normally abled people. And it's not profitable to go and get data from Africa, India, South America, etc., because we can't get those people to pay for a product that gives us the data. We have to drop the capitalism, we have to think of other ways to get data from broader pools, because it's not the algorithms, it's the data that's causing us a problem.
Show me your data, show me, I'll tell you the quality of your species, right?
Exactly.
So I'm going to try to bring it again a little bit in a step wider. I think you need AI when you need insight, and you need blockchain when you need trust. And there's many ways in which AI can help blockchain, and in many ways in which blockchain can help AI. So I think that also in blockchain you have the use or application layer, and you have the development layer, the technology layer. And AI can be used in both, right? Can be used on the usage. You can do like better UX, you can do better decisions, you can actually even train better data or give insight on how to give better data. Even in security ways, right? Developers can use AI to make better smart contracts, better coding, better getting more insight for how to use, right? But there's also the layer of technology. You can actually do better security, etc. So I think there's like this little dance between AI and Web3, and it's not that one is here for the other, but I think both are here for each other. And I think through the questions I will be able to develop that more. But yeah, as to answer the questions, I think developers can use AI for having more insights. And at the same time, AI developers can also use AI to actually go more into the ethical concerns, as you were saying, right? To maybe have more fair development, more fair models, fairer training, fairer inference, and even actually to have more validated data to construct better AI models and to actually bring insights that are, yeah, worthy of having as a human species.
This is great. You mentioned actually privacy, so this question will be for you. As with Web3 aim to prioritize user data ownership and privacy, how AI technologies can harness to empower individuals while providing data security and trust in the decentralized systems?
Well, just to touch on what I was saying, I think there's the there's the concern of privacy and the concern of security. Yeah, I mean, in terms of privacy, we have tools in blockchain that are being developed in the field of ZK, zero knowledge proofs, and how can we actually prove that something is that without actually having to show everything, right? I go to a club and I show you my ID, and the bouncer does not need to know who my parents are, right? He just needs to know I'm 18. Hopefully, I look 18 now, but he needs to know one data. So at the end of the day, privacy, it's about what you show and how you keep it fair, how you keep it real, how you keep it transparent, how you keep it true, but without disclosing things that are not relevant for the occasion, right? So I think AI can help in coding all these technologies, but at the same time, I think there's something with security that can also be tackled with blockchain. For example, we're going to have a lot of AI bots, and we're going to need to know if they're human or not. And I think by securing a signature on the blockchain, we can actually know if that data is true or not. So that's where I think security and privacy can also be touched with these two topics.
This is very insightful indeed. Privacy, I think it's also more about choosing what to show or not to show, or at least having a right for this, which is actually a human right by default.
I mean, that's a wider issue because, and also companies, if there's any big companies, corporations in the house, I'm going to throw a challenge at you. But companies don't get that actually there is an alternate route to the one that we've been following. We've been following a path where we all give our data up on every single device we own for free all the time, and then all the big corporations, Facebook, Google, Amazon, Tencent, Alibaba, etc., they're making billions off of our data that we've been giving them for free. And we're complicit in allowing those companies to basically be the internet now. They have all the cloud services. We've turned the internet into virtually a centralized solution. And we've given all that data up for free. Any data we didn't give up for free to those corporations is available immediately. I don't want to shock anybody, but I can go to the dark web right now and I can buy all of your credit card and bank details and addresses for probably a couple of dollars. For people of our age, not my age, I'm freakishly old, about 153 now, I think. But for people of our age, I'm afraid the horse already bolted, and we can't close the doors anymore. But people like Brittany Kaiser, who a friend of mine who was also the whistleblower at Cambridge Analytica, she has the Own Your Data Foundation. And there's other organizations in data sovereignty like Poly. There's upcoming AI, personal AI and data sovereignty solutions coming up, like Memory. You've got Data Union, you've got many others. And they are all using either traditional technologies or blockchain technologies to try and provide data sovereignty. And here's the challenge for companies. What would you prefer? Would you prefer, if you're Gap, for example, would you prefer to ask me for my inside leg measurement, my favorite t-shirt colors, and ask that of all your clients and say, if you give us this data, we'll give you 50% off our clothes. Why would they do that? Because when they sell clothes new, they have 400% markup anyway. And then they discount to sell them. But they overproduce everything, and we all overproduce everything and over-harvest everything. So why not get the data from your clients, your raving fans, your community, and then only make what is needed plus a little extra for the sheep effect, because if I saw Will wearing that blazer, I'm immediately going to want that blazer because he looks so good in it, right? So you've got to add an extra 20% for the sheep effect. But then they'll save costs, which means more profits. Exactly. We'll stop overproducing everything, which is good for the planet and the people. And how did we get there? We gave our data willingly in order to get something in return, as opposed to just taking our data to make billions, but overproducing everything and having no profits, which is Silicon Valley's biggest disease is companies with no profits.
That's great. You want something to add?
Yeah, so just to continue what he was saying, that it's really happening in the world now. WorldCoin, for example. If we see any big conferences, people are just going there like headless chickens. They're just like scanning their eyes, giving their identity, everything, and you don't even know what is going to happen with that. or who is going to be in charge of all this data? We absolutely have no idea about that. But there are some very good protocols. Recently, I met a project in Istanbul a couple of days ago. It's called as DOP. It's a self-sovereignty protocol, which is completely decentralized and stored on blockchain. Nobody else can have access to it. Imagine like you have your medical records on blockchain, like it can be a kind of NFT or something. If you have an accident in a foreign country and if they don't know what kind of allergies you have towards medicine or anything as such, it's a question of life and death. And if they can have like only those specific information about your health, like, okay, if you get penicillin, probably you will die, or if you get something else, like it's going to affect you very badly. And this is going to be a lifesaver for a lot of people. In the same way, like it can have access to so many different industries that we deal with. It can be a credit card or it can be anything else. But disclosing the limited minimum number of information that you are mandatorily supposed to do, but not giving away everything. And for sure, not selling our data. So there are such kind of protocols which is using very advanced AI, and they're doing very good. I think this trend is going to continue going forward, especially as you said about zero knowledge proofs.
So the conclusion here, guys, be careful which information you're sharing and with who you're sharing.
No. That's not the point. Don't worry about it. Take advantage of everything Google has to offer, everything Apple has to offer, everything Amazon has to offer, because it's too late. So you may as well let your data do good things for you. Don't be careful. It's way too late.
Yeah, good point. Coming back closer more for the use cases of actually AI and Web3, let's talk about trading a bit. We have here founder of AI trading platform. So please tell us what are actually advantages and disadvantages of AI trading and trading in DeFi in general?
Cool. So we started it as a research and development project back in 2017. So we were like geeks coming from mathematics, AI background, trading background. We understand the industry very well. But when we started to apply AI for trading, 2 years we had no results at all. Because when you use machine learning models, it will overfit your models, which doesn't work. And if you use reinforcement learning, then again, your strategy will go obsolete after some time. And it took us a long time to realize the right way to do it. And the right way to do it is like, there are many data which everybody has, like price and volume data. So there cannot be any alpha there. You need to do something what no one else is doing. We built our own sentiment analysis engine, which gives the sentiments to us, like on Twitter, on anywhere, like on medias. We try to see how many times a person has said about something and how many times it actually came true. And we try to weed out all the noises. So this is how we get the sentiment data. And we try to accumulate the price and volume data in one single thing. And that's how we mix that one with AI, which is pattern recognition system. And because of all these things, from the past 4 years, be in the bull run or bear run, we are consistently performing fund. And even recently launched products, like what we have launched, they're all doing excellently well. But what I want to say is like AI for crypto trading especially is a lot of research. You should see that as a research first. You have to try so many things. Most of the things will fail, but you have to know those things that really works. And it takes a lot of time and patience. But yeah, you can do it, like the way we did it.
Have you guys tried AI trading yourself as well?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't. It's not the sector I'm most interested. I think, as we were talking yesterday, actually, I always had a little bit of resistance to having a machine allowed to trade for me, because if you win, you don't know why, and if you lose, you also don't know why, right? And you could argue that it doesn't matter. You want profit, right? And that brings to the point that I think AI can do, which is, a trading strategy at the end of the day is used to put your emotions out of it and to stay consistent, right? Because they say that successful traders are the ones who actually stick to the strategy. And it's fun to see how AI can actually help on that, because you are not bounded or restricted by your emotions when trading. And then you have like this AI, right, that's ingesting and eating all this amount of data, way more than you could do, and then like inferring all these possibilities, and then you just relax and you just earn money, right? And that's very interesting to see like how actually trading algorithms can remove the emotional side of it, that's what's supposed to be the flaw in humans, right? But at the same time, the question is like, And then why do you want the profits, right? Like who are you becoming? I maybe get a bit sentimental here, but I think trading is also a way for you to get to know what you want, what's your purpose, and what you want those gains for and that profit for. And going back to what you're saying before, I really like what you said, because I think AI and blockchain can also rethink what do we want, what's the profit, and how can we actually make something profitable or gather data to actually reduce costs, which is actually something profitable for industries and for companies, but at the same time rethink what's the collective purpose of it, right? How can we actually change the status quo from within that capitalism in a way? Because you can think that, yeah, crypto hyper-financializes everything by creating tokens of everything, and then you can buy and sell everything, but then how can we, through that lens, actually get to another outcome? And going back to trading, yeah, what can I say? I haven't traded with AI, but I think that's one of the use cases that actually AI can bring into more insight, right? I don't know where it's going to be. I just know that I've seen the series Westworld. Who has seen Westworld? Mm-hmm. Okay, then you have this huge AI, sorry to spoil it, but that actually can predict all the operations and all the stock market and stuff. And the question is, okay, if everybody has that, then we have same opportunity. But if we have a macro corporation that has that insight, then we're still in this pyramidal, centralized way of being. So I wonder, actually, a question for you is like, how do you see the outlook of AI trading platforms? Like, do you think everybody will have access to it and then the market will rearrange itself into something that's even harder? Or is it going to be like just some people are going to have that, and then they're going to have an advantage, an edge? And where is it going to be?
I don't think so. Everybody will be using this particular services, because I can just give you an example. The world's most successful hedge fund is Renaissance Technologies. It's based in the United States, and it's done by my guru, like that's how I see him, Simon. Simon is a very, very, very smart and intelligent mathematics and AI. Like he said, like AI is not now. He used to do that back in 1980s, right? His Renaissance Technologies has been consistently performing ever since 1985 to 2023. All the years they're number one. And they're one of the major fund, which is Medallion Fund, as they call us. That's a close-ended fund of $10 billion. Even he will select who is going to come into his fund or who is not going to get access to this fund. If he doesn't want, he will kick you out. That's how it works. So why $10 billion? Because maybe after that, you cannot really generate alpha. So there is a kind of cap. It's not unlimited. So if tomorrow someone is ready to use my platform, if a fund comes and says, like, I will put $10 billion, I don't think we have $10 billion kind of liquidity right now in the market, in crypto market as of today, to really make all this AI to perform. So the market has to mature also along with the kind of money that we are playing in. But I don't think like that's going to happen like in next 5 years or 10 years. So until that, we are good. But if everybody uses the product, that's good for us. We will make money.
I mean, if I take something from what you said, Will, so yes, you perform best when you don't have emotions involved. So the plus side of AI trading is that everyone, and not just psychopaths and sociopaths, can actually be good traders, which is great. And then if we take that to its nth degree, if we actually have normal, regular, reasonable human beings who are able to make profits out of trading, we might actually end up with a lot more conscious capitalism and people using that profit not just for their own, selfish purposes, but to maybe, help their family, their friends, if they're feeling particularly, non-self-centered, their community. And really, when we think about it, community is a massive driver in this. Because GameStop, for example, we all remember GameStop and the hedge fund that collapsed because Reddit decided this was bullshit, and everyone clubbed together and they absolutely changed
community.
Right? They changed the whole thing. So is it really about the AI? Or is it really about once people become savvy enough to understand how to use these tools, once the tools become easy enough for everyone to use and it's mainstream, maybe even a black box under your TV like a PlayStation, it all comes back to community. Because if the community decides that it doesn't like what the AI is doing, if the community decides that it doesn't like what these big traders are getting, the community can do anything. You can't resist 6.5 billion consumers who are now savvy, right? It's a little bit like if we all stopped arguing with each other over every damn thing every day by doing binary thinking and picking sides, and we actually came together as a society, we could rip up all the governments and start again. But we don't, because we're arguing with each other. If we can put these things, these tools into everyone's hands, community will drive the result, not AI.
We are running out a bit of time, so I would like that we bring a lot of value to the audience. So perhaps each of you can share actually AI tools that you work with daily or using in your work or life generally, something that would you recommend to others?
Oof, me? My word. Well, so obviously as a journalist, I get to, and to sort of partly answer the last question, I only used AI trading tools because as a journalist in that part of my life, I get access to everything quite early so I can try it out and see whether it's interesting and maybe write a story about it. I don't hold tokens because ethically that would not be right for a journalist to do. So, I signed up for the journalistic ethics, so I don't hold anything. Doesn't stop people trying to hack my phone every 2 months to see if I've got tokens. From an AI standpoint, ChatGPT, obviously everybody knows that. But I have found that for research for stories, nothing is better or quicker to help me with research on stories than Google Bard. Bard is outstanding, and I use that. I use a couple of other tools to help me with the SEO behind the scenes as editor-at-large at Arctic Startup and at Data Economy, because we don't need SEO experts anymore. AI can do it. But I write everything still, myself with the research that I do, and I string it all together because it's got to sound like me. Hilariously, a couple of times I've written articles, and then publications have said, "We ran this through an AI checker, and it says AI wrote it." I said, no. What happened is AI sucked up all of my last articles and every other journalist, and so it's written like us. Run it through a plagiarism checker. So if you're doing AI checkers, don't do that. It's terrible. AI is writing articles based on people like me who've been writing articles for 30 years. Run it through a plagiarism checker. That's all you need to do. You can see if people are copying that way. But I just use Bard. I use some SEO tools behind the scenes. And I do some image generation. I prefer Leonardo over Midjourney or any of the others. But of course, I get them all the time, and I try them all the time. When I find something better than Leonardo, I'll jump to that too.
Thank you for that. I mean, it's curious because I spoke with some journalists in the pre-event events, and they use actually AI checkers, as you said. And I played around and I tried myself to check the article which I wrote, and it says me again like 50% like AI. I'm like, what? How is this possible?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's checking for whether it's written by AI, not whether the operator is artificially intelligent. So
what about you?
Well, there is a little bit of AI in many of the apps that we use on day-to-day basis. For example, even Grammarly, the spell checker, even that's having AI. So whatever apps we are using, a little bit, there is an AI element in everything. But I think I use ChatGPT quite regularly. And I use, of course, BCube, like my company. So these are the only two things that I use regularly.
Okay, cool. What about you? Content production.
Well, yeah, actually, I've been investigating in content production, but it really feels that when I do it for myself, it kind of feels better. I feel AI tools are very good for inspiration. And I found myself using them too much for dopamine than for inspiration sometimes, because sometimes I have philosophical conversation with ChatGPT where I just get validated, and then I get a shot of dopamine, and then I shut it out. And so, no, but I'm really interested in asking about the patterns I don't see in my content. For example, feeding my articles, feeding my diaries, feeding my big body of content of mine, and then asking for patterns I may not be seeing, and then starting the conversation from there. Because I think AI has that potential, right? That possibility of making us see what we don't see about ourselves through our own body of language. And apart from that, I'm excited with cross-modal AIs that are not still there. When I say cross-modal, I mean, for example, start dancing And that's what I tried to do in my degree, but it didn't work out that good. But start dancing and then say like, okay, ChatGPT, give me a song that moves, that fits my movement right now, so I can get more into my dancing, for example. Things like that. I think that's what excites me in the future when we actually cross modes.
The thing
Really curious.
The thing that excites me most about the future is if SingularityNet or anyone else gets to be Singularity and we get artificial general intelligence, we can all just go and sit on a Bali and beach in Bali, do nothing, get universal basic income, and just let AI run the whole show. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Even trading, they take care of it.
Just look after it for us. We're going to go and drink either non-alcoholic or alcoholic beverages somewhere.
I hope.
Well, I hope you guys made some notes. It was really useful to know all of this information. Thank you for sharing the stage with me, and thank you for listening us.